There we go. Tara, what's the dung?
Ah, I won't be able to get it though. Can you get over a bit more?
Yeah, it's what did you tell me what it is? Because I can't see
Oh,
it.
it looks like that.
Okay. Sounds like they've got Karula up on Wetela access way up in the north. I mean the west. Okay, let me go back to this dung and have a look at it. See how it looks. It's not very fresh though. It is leopard, but it's not. Honey buns, I think. Asking if I still listen to. Gosh, look at all these drops that's on this quarry.
Sure.
Can't get the sun through them. Honey Buns was asking if I still listen to Van Morrison. I do. I don't think I'll ever tire of Van Morrison. Lisa posted a song, as she does quite often, a lovely Van Morrison song that I just happened to put on my iPod shortly thereafter, last night. Gory's got no leaves on it. Okay, shall we? Still waiting to hear if anybody can confirm that the noises, hello Franklin, the noises of the hippo last night were the same as the noises the previous night. Yep. Maria saying, I remember somebody mentioned something about it could be the grey heron, and then I said, yeah, the grey heron sounds like the ducks, the geese complaining with laryngitis or bronchitis in a megaphone. Could have been heron the night before. The night before that, there were sounds that people were saying sounded like buffalo being killed. I think that was the night the mapopos came through, and of course there were no buffalo carcasses. But it could have been these two hippo bulls that are fighting. Maybe we need to go and have a look at old Humgo. If it's him at Treehouse, go and have a look at him to see whether any new scars or new injuries. Yebo. Google. Hello Josh in California. Why did giraffe lose their tails? And why are their necks so long? In most cases where giraffe have lost part of their tails from lion hanging on to the end of them, when lion tries to take them down. And sometimes those same giraffe, next time we see one actually, what we'll do is we'll have a look a little bit closer and we'll probably find that there's scratch marks on the rump. Possible. Well, I am confused and I guess slightly disappointed not seeing any tracks. If it was Karula, she's up near the gate somewhere. Anyways, we're on Buffalo Coat Line, we're heading west. We'll do Gallagher shortcut. Go and check Boytella Access Road. Joshua, why are giraffes' necks so long? Well, that's an adaptation, I guess. It's something that nature has given them to browse on a completely different trophic level than an animal, get out of reach of any other competition. Have you got something?
Yeah.
Besides paper.
Yeah.
Oh, you got a little...
Got a little lappy.
Okay. Just giving the lens a wipe quickly. Misting up, I think. Nice. Just touching the sunshine makes it a little bit warmer. Okay, we are on slightly higher ground too. That makes a difference. Take some from it. Take some from it. Yeah, go. There's the fast Karula.
Negative was zero. The negative to the north. Sorry, to the west. Close to Pulan from 21st. The Palatin, sorry.
Okay, copied. Shadow, who we call Tingana. We haven't seen her for months. Show me the tank. Where was that again?
Rebecca, just more to the north of that.
Okay, copied. I'm now up on levels of cut line. Still can't find any of them. Okay, yeah, I'm heading west on Buffalook at the moment. I'll probably take Gallagher shortcut. But hey, when I heard that Ingwe yesterday, it sounded like it was near our microphone at the dam. So it was close to the lodge.
That's a good bank and says Buga. No, the east of room 1.
Okay, copied. It doesn't move very far. Well, we might have to go back again. Down towards the lodge. Evidently, Mandla saw the leopard east of room 1. That sounds like one of the boys. Maybe one of the boys was sawing. That's why it sounded like a male rather than a female. Slightly deeper voice. We are not the only species where the male has a deeper voice than the female. Even the Scotch owl male is deeper than the female. Okay. I give up. We'll do Gallagher shortcut, maybe go round again. much sign of hyena this morning. Getting back to Joshua, asking about giraffes' long necks. Actually, a long time ago, there were several fossil records shows a number of different giraffe species of different heights. The okapi in central West Africa is perhaps the smallest of the giraffe species, or the giraffe family rather. And it's highly likely that so many different species that were in competition for those smaller giraffe species, so many other animals, other browsers, actually phased them out, sort of natural extinctions. And the giraffe that we know today being one of the only ones that survived because it's at such a higher level in terms of its browse level, what we call a trophic level, matched, or rather getting competition only from the likes of elephants, who are able to reach the same height. Okay, that's it. We've done a pretty wide circle, unless we find something now on Gallagher shortcut. I suppose we should have done that other. Oh, let's do that. We'll Gallagher, then we'll do that other shortcut back to Buffelshoek line and go back to Mvubu Road and then go down to the rooms or something. Go and have a look around the dam again. I've had my eyes on the ground all the time. I hope you've been looking. Pardon?
Looks like honey badger tracks.
Honey badger track. Maybe it's the same one that was on those roads. Oh, there in the corner there. Yep. I see that.
Yeah.
It looks like more than one too. Youngsters.
I can try and get it.
Pardon?
I don't think I'm going to be able to get it on camera though.
You don't think so?
Try.
What's that? I want to see something else there.
I think
Do I need to move for
there's
you?
a mongoose track there.
Do I need to be able to move or do you
Yeah, no, I think you need to move. If you can move, yeah.
Tara wants to show you a track.
Let's see if we can.
I'm going to
Try
just
that.
get out and have a look. I want to go and look at another track too. Well, it comes here now. Here's a nice one. Really nice one.
Have you got one?
This was the adult. This is just the youngster here. This is the youngster. Or the second one. At least
Aha.
2, if not 3.
Sure.
Because, well, there's this one that came here. This is a big one. I mean, front. That's how big this one is.
Just stay there again. I can get you.
There's the back of the track.
Yeah, that's the back of the track, and that's the front on his right finger.
So if I try and draw, we've got this back piece here,
That's the back pad,
and then here's,
and that's the front of the back pad.
and then one toe,
And then 1 toe, 2 toe, 3 toe, 4 toe,
and there's a nail.
5 toe, and nails. That's the adult honey badger. Mark's saying he can see possibly 2 youngsters.
There's one.
There's one youngster,
There's another one
and there's another youngster.
over there. And here's a beetle. Can you
And
see this?
let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. It's very difficult to see, but if you follow where the finger is, it's a beetle track there.
And these lines,
Okay, let me just see if I can move it again. Where to, Mark?
all these lines.
Oh, there. And all these lines?
Ant lions.
are antlions.
And here, look. Can you see that?
I'm going to see if we can try and get there. Oh yes, we can.
Baby tortoise.
Baby tortoise. Can't see it too nicely. Point again.
When you let your corner from the western side of you.
Yeah, these ones aren't. The angle's a little bit too flat for us. Yeah.
Check Jordan Dam, Bushbuck Dam, and then you got South Puza and Yala Dam. Okay, go big, I'm sure Puza, there is a dam area.
Texan. Unfortunately, there's a couple of guests, so we're not going to be able to show them at the moment.
And beetles, and there was beetle traction, baby tortoise traction. Nice sand to catch this morning.
You don't get tracks?
Yeah, baby puff header. So there were a few things moving around. I don't know, that Ingrid didn't move from around the dam, I don't think.
Okay. There must be something else.
I've done all the way around. I haven't done weird access.
No, I just went into
Quarantine.
Maybe shortcut, maybe might be happy.
Did Manda see it last night with the spotlight?
No, my guests saw
Oh,
it.
you saw it?
With Warren.
With Warren, yeah. We heard Warren on our microphone.
Yeah.
He was quite animated. And then I was moving our camera and I could see you standing there with the spotlight.
Yeah.
But I couldn't find anything with our camera because the digital zoom doesn't focus too well when it gets to about 100 times zoom.
Okay.
But,
Texan,
Probably still
would
at
you
the
mind
lodge,
waving hello? If I zoom in on you, hold on.
do you mind being on camera?
So I'm going to do it so I don't get you guys on camera.
No, they're okay. They don't
Are you
mind
okay with it? Okay.
Where are you from?
Florida.
Florida. See that? Let me tell everybody.
There you go,
From
Texan.
Florida.
Can you wave hello to us?
And also not used to the cold.
It's so true.
We're also feeling it.
Yeah.
He just wears 6 jackets.
Yeah, I'm not normally this big. I've got many
Looks
layers
so
on.
big today. Oh, thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Alright,
guys.
enjoy your morning. Talk to you soon. That's from Florida. Wrapped up tight.
Sorry to send again.
Pardon? Hello everybody. Welcome to live Safari TV. My name is Mark. Tara's on camera. Final control. Final control. The equivalent of ground control in Houston.
I was thinking the same thing, eh? Oh,
Ground control
to
to Major Tom. This is ground control. This is Major Tom to ground control.
yeah, I think yeah. David Bowie, eh? Or Bowie. How do
Who
you
was
say it?
that sang that song?
David Bowie.
David Bowie. It wasn't. It was
Bowie.
Ziggy Stardust.
Iggy Stardust, of course.
Ziggy Stardust.
Iggy Stardust.
Iggy or Ziggy Stardust? Was it Iggy Stardust or Ziggy Stardust? Iggy
I
or
think it's
Ziggy?
Iggy. Iggy Stardust. I
Iggy.
think.
I thought it was Ziggy. Okay. Well, where's my
I'm
earpiece?
sure one of the viewers can correct us.
Where's my earpiece? Somebody will tell us. I've got so many things here. I'm getting caught up in knots. All sorts of things.
No, it's definitely
Iggy,
not
Wiggy,
Wiggy.
and Ziggy. Come
Definitely
on,
not
let's
Wiggy.
get a real answer here. Who's a Bowie fan?
I'm sure it's Iggy Stardust.
Iggy Pop and Ziggy Stardust. Thank
Oh,
you very
okay.
much. Yeah. My era.
Not a
not-
Major Tom. Yeah, but I like that era.
Yeah, everybody liked that era.
Half my CD collection is that era.
Everybody's trying to emulate, trying to recreate that era. Yeah, boy. Fire it up. Rudy, Ohio, thank you for your question. I like that question. Do we live here all around, or do we have regular homes in regular neighborhoods? I don't think there's anything regular about any of us that live here. But Rudy, yeah, we do live here all year round, but we do have our own homes.
Do you?
We don't exactly, well, we don't all have homes in regular neighborhoods. I can speak for myself only. My neighborhood, I live in a neighborhood with elephants and lions and leopards, much the same as this neighborhood. They're just different lions and leopards. Some of them are the same elephants though. It's somewhat north of here in another game reserve called the Timbavati. That's where my home is at the moment. Tara, what neighborhood is your home in?
No, this is my neighborhood. This is home.
This is
Unless
home
I
for
go
Tara.
back to the UK.
Unless she goes back to the UK, which you're doing next week.
I am.
Yeah. You're losing
I go
Tara
back
for
once a year if I can.
a couple of weeks.
Otherwise I go on holiday and this is home.
Otherwise Tara goes on holiday. But this is Tara's home for now. Oh, more dung. Big warthog dung. Herman, where's home? Herman says home is Sabi Sands Game Reserve, but he does go and visit friends and family in Cape Town, or friends and cousins, relatives in Victoria. And I guess Afka can say home is now Sabi Sands Game Reserve. I think Afka, correct me if I'm wrong, but home is where your Land Rover is. Afka says yes, exactly. Still a golden orb hanging around in this cold weather. Need to find another one. And what else? Alex, I don't know. I think we'll wait till Alex wakes up. I mean, family home for Alex is in Russia. His family is there. Alex has just been to visit Russia, his last leave, but he has spent many years here in South Africa, and I think he might have sort of a second home type of thing somewhere here in South Africa. So there you go, Rudy, in Ohio. None of us have regular homes in regular neighborhoods. I think we're all dysfunctional in the city. No, maybe not.
Did you call us dysfunctional?
No, in the city we're dysfunctional.
Oh, okay.
Alex, I think, can cope with the city.
No, I don't think you can, mate.
Well, what I'm better than any of us.
Yeah.
But the very fact that we live out here means that we prefer this kind of life. This is not a job for us. This is not something that we leave the city to come and work as and go back to the city. This is what we do. This is where we live. This is what we want with our lives. It might seem exotic, it might seem fanciful, but it does take a particular type of person to be able to live like this. We aren't exposed to the normal social interactions that most humans have. We have a very small community of people that, first of all, it's us that work at Safari TV, and then on a greater scale with some of the staff at the lodges that we socialize with, but it's always a very small group of people. So sometimes we're kind of starved of human companionship in a way. And times we don't really mind. I mean, I'm a bachelor. I've been pretty much alone most of my life, mainly because I've lived in the bush, and I've been managing camps and lodges in remote other parts of Africa, where I haven't had the luxury of having other people around me, other game lodge staff, where being in management I've had to keep slightly separated from the staff that work underneath me because of organizational structure and logistics. And I've sort of socialized more with elephants than I have with humans. Just checking for tracks again, mostly only warthog tracks here and a couple of buffalo tracks. Noticed as we were driving along, we went over some buffalo dung. Got it in mud. Namun. In other words, cold today. How cold is it in Durbs, Penny? Penny watching? Checking? See if Penny's with us? Really nice, still nice and fairly warm in Durban. Lovely temperatures along the east coast of South Africa. They still have decent humidity which keeps the temperatures nice and warm. But also being Indian Ocean coast, quite pleasant there. Well, we're back on the Tele Access Road. I was going to go back to Biffles or Katlan and maybe Hippo and Mbubu Road, but since Texan went that way, I thought we'd just come along here and let's see what we have. No leopard, but it was there. Let me just check again in the sun. Looking at tracks, it helps to have the right angle against the rising sun to see the shadow falling in the depressions of the tracks, even if it's a fairly smooth road with not very deep sand, with a very low sun in the early morning or the late afternoon, even in very fine or rather very hard ground you can pick up some things. The higher the sun gets, the harder it is to read tracks. And I think for the time being, there's not much I can do other than go down to the lodge itself, but we can't do that. So I think we'll move on. We'll move on. Find something else to look for. We've been looking for tracks for a leopard that was calling at the lodge. Evidently the guests did see it with the spotlight. I don't know if any of you were with me when I was moving the camera when that leopard was calling at Gary Dam last night. Probably when was that? About 10:30, 11 p.m. And I was panning the camera. I could see where they were shining the spotlight, but we just couldn't zoom in on it. We just couldn't get close enough to it. I thought they were just looking. I actually it looked like they had seen it, because the spotlight was moving around so much. Crown lapwings ahead of us. Oh, in silence. Normally nesting around this time of the year. Ground nesting birds. These lapwings are perhaps the most prone to the type of behavior that is typical of lapwings. When their nest is threatened, they pretend they have a broken wing to draw the predator away. And if there's a predator like a jackal or anything for that matter sniffing around the nest. They'll run off or fly off to short distance, close enough to attract the attention of the predator, and they'll drop one wing and they'll flap around on the ground and they'll scream, "Oh, I got a broken wing, I got a broken wing, come and eat me, come and eat me." And of course the jackal or the leopard or the serval or the caracal or the whatever predator it may be rushes over to get a much bigger meal than a mere little plover or lapwing egg, and as it gets near the adult flies away. And it's distracted the predator enough that the predator forgets about looking for the nest.
I've yet to actually see that, hey?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, it's quite a wonderful thing to see. It's a different story when there's something like a buffalo or an elephant. And last year we noticed, for those of you who were with us last year, or beginning of summer, our summer, we had the blacksmith lapwings that were nesting very close to the edge of the dam, and how they discouraged the buffalo or the elephant from coming. They would actually move the buffalo or the elephant off from stepping on their nest. And instead of playing the broken wing scenario, they would stand at their nest and open up those wings and scream blue murder. And the coloration of the bird is enough to draw the attention of the larger mammals, the black and the white, the contrast between the two. And we could see the buffalo and the elephant actually avoided the nest completely. Crowned lapwing. Okay. Now quite a loud and harsh alarm call, these crowned lapwings, a lot louder than the Senegal lapwings, the one that we have them around here too. Crowned lapwings are monogamous, they live in pairs. The Senegal lapwing, on the other hand, is quite a gregarious species, lives in small groups. And they don't have a very loud call. And whenever one lives in the bush and you live near an open area like this, you keep your ears open during the night for those crowned lapwings flying and screaming at night, because if they take off and they start shouting, you know there's a predator moving around the open area. But they'd rather be flying around in circles up there in the sky in the dark than running around on the ground. And so many of these predators, despite the fact that they have very good eyesight at night, they have all these adaptations to be able to see better at night, they are still very much hunters by sound. Oh look, there we go. Mongoose colony sunning themselves. Hello children. You wanted that yesterday, didn't you, Tara?
I did. I was missing them.
Okay, well now you can play the camera. And the beautiful thing about this, look, we'll see the shadow of this tree slowly creeping down the termite mound and giving the mongoose a lot more sun to come and sun themselves. These are dwarf mongoose. The smallest of all the mongoose species. A couple of youngsters there. Whoops. some allo grooming going on, strengthening social bonds, maintaining hierarchies. Grooming each other does all sorts of things besides clean each other. There are all sorts of other social implications. Apart from the fact that by grooming another mongoose, the brain releases endorphins for both individuals, for the one that's being groomed and the groomee. The groomer and the groomee, I mean. The groomer. And psychologists will tell you that the same thing happens in hairdressing salons all over the world. Especially because we're primates, and it's built in amongst us primates to groom each other. And we as modern humans, something happened. Maybe an aerial predator or something. Suddenly all darted for the holes. Didn't hear an alarm call. Maybe just a squeak. Well, creeping out again. But in most primate species, although it looks like they're looking for parasites, that kind of grooming is not necessarily just looking for parasites. It's just a pleasing thing. And us modern humans have lost a lot of what nature gave us. We've lost the ability to communicate with body language and non-verbal communication, because we've developed such an articulate language. And I think it's since the introduction of such articulate language that we've stopped the kind of interaction that we used to have as mammals, as a social mammal. But we've also got all these rules and regulations and laws and things now that have, I guess, sent us on a different path to that which nature maybe created for us in terms of our social structures. I'm not saying that we should be polygamous. I'm not saying that we should be anything. I'm just saying that in the past, before language, we were probably far more tactile and far more governed by body language, sign language. And that would have included a lot more physical contact. Nowadays you go to the hairdresser and you sit in the chair and, first you have your hair washed. And it's more about the hairdresser's actions rather than just cutting the hair. That's why Indian head massage is so effective. Beautiful little colony this. We have seen them a couple of times before. One of several colonies of mongoose that live here on the open area of quarantine. Belonging to the family Viveridae, the Viverids, closely related to the Mustelidae, the Mustelids, which are the weasel family. And very much little predators. Mostly insects and grubs, larvae of beetles, termites. But they will raid birds' nests. Maybe not the dwarf mongoose, but certainly the likes of the slender mongoose. Slender mongoose are pretty good climbers, and they're pretty good bird catchers. The slender mongoose, probably about the size of two dwarf mongoose, end on end, with slightly longer legs and a very much longer tail, and a black tip to the tail. And more of a solitary existence. And we don't see too many slender mongoose because they skulk around. They creep around in the grasses, because they're able to hunt birds and raid birds' nests. The birds don't like them, so they kind of got to keep hidden when they're out hunting. So they cruise through long grasses and hide under trees and bushes. And when a bird finds them and starts shouting at them, they attract other birds, and of course birds will mob them and encourage them to move to a different area. So they too try and stay hidden. Dwarf mongoose, not as much of a... In fact, I don't know of dwarf mongoose taking adult birds. Maybe they do something about birds' nests on the ground, eggs. But they're more insects, other arthropods like arachnids, spiders, scorpions, and some of the smaller reptiles. Not as much of snake hunters as the larger banded mongoose, but they would take on smaller snakes. Can hear a green pigeon. 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 odd. Must be pretty much most of the colony now. There's number 18 just popped out on the far left.
Where are you? I check wrapping post then. Nothing.
I'm trying to speak a very broken mongoose. I kind of got their attention at first, and then they looked at me and thought, got to go back to school and learn our language before we're going to react. They're going to be heading out shortly, no doubt, once they've warmed up a bit. They're hunting for the day. melodic trill of the crested barbet in the distance. The rusty gate squeak of brown-headed parrots flying over. Okay, let's move on a little. Oh, well, a barbet. Almost took my nose off. Okay, it was a bit of an exaggeration.
I was going to say you got a big nose then.
Oh, it was close. Bye, children. Have fun today. Only too many beetles, not too many. Come on. Nothing. I guess Penny's not watching today. Didn't get any answer from Penny about Durban temperatures. Jackson coming? Yeah, where is Rana Katan? Very nice question coming from James. Hi James. James is asking, do mongoose make good pets? And I will give you an emphatic no. Sorry, I didn't mean to shout, I was just leaning over. And I just happened to say no when I was closest to the microphone. First of all, the larger mongoose species, the solitary mongoose species, have all got musk gland, they've all got glands, anal glands that have rather obnoxious smelling scents that will get up the noses of people who own them. Look, any small mammal, if you get it when it's small enough and you raise it it'll see you as its mother, and it'll be close to you. As far as being a pet is concerned, it's battle a wild animal. And the biggest problem I have, first of all, I have a very big problem with people having pets, animals as pets that are not domestic animals, because domestication is something that has taken a couple of thousand years to breed the wildness out of these animals, and a lot of our domestic animals would not be able to survive in the wild. And as much or as independent as domestic cats are, I think there are some cats that have never even touched grass. And a cat that lives in an apartment, as beautiful as a pet it is, it's not going to really survive out in the wild very well. But cats that live in houses, live in suburbia, it's a lot easier for them to go feral than it is a cat that lives in the city centre. Dogs, on the other hand, dogs are so dependent on humans that most dog species, breeds rather, most dogs will not be able to fend for themselves. Of course, there are a lot of dogs that go feral and they form packs and they revert to a wild state in a pack situation, and those are dogs that have had some exposure to the outside world. And when we're talking about animals that come from nature, any animal that still has its cousins in the wild should never be kept as a pet, because there's no way on earth that a human can provide for that animal the way nature can. There's no ways that, well, as far as mongoose is concerned, I don't know, maybe you can hear by the tone of my voice, I have such strong convictions about this, and I'm really anyway, I do feel very strongly, and the reason why I'm so strong about mongoose is because they're a social species, and unless you have a whole colony, but then again, you know, what would you want with a whole colony of mongoose? But I've known people that keep like a single surrogate, this is big hyena tracks here, this must have been sloppy here. People who keep maybe one individual of a mongoose species that is a gregarious species. That poor child has to grow up without any without what we were seeing now, all that social interaction, all that important behavior that a mongoose needs to engage in with members of its own species. So, I'm sorry, I have to say no, they wouldn't make a good pet. There are people that keep single ones as pets, and well, anyway, I think I said enough. But I just feel strongly about things like that. Wild animals as pets, exotic animals. Not even, I was going to say, especially the large cats like tigers and things. I heard about, just recently, one of the most shocking things I heard is about a truck stop somewhere in the States that has a tiger, and they won't let this tiger be returned to the wild. They've got this tiger because it pulls in truckers. It's an advertising gimmick. I mean, there should be lots of buffalo tracks. We're gonna go look for this herd of buffalo. Been lots of buffalo around. Big herd. Let's go find them. Humans should have I know we've got the likes of the organisation called Traffic. There are several organisations, but nothing is really enforced. We should have like this group of die-hard animal behaviourists, and not necessarily like the true bunny hugger types, but people who have very strong convictions about what, I guess, an extension of animal rights movement, the animal rights police. We can actually stand up for animals and deal with situations where we have people who keep the likes of a tiger as a pet just so that you can get more business, more truckers coming to your truck stop. Like that guy in New York who kept a tiger in his apartment along with an alligator and on an 11th floor apartment or something. An alligator and God knows what else. And nobody would have found out unless the tiger hadn't attacked him. Gave him a good few scratches, gave him a bit of a hiding. He had to go to a hospital. And actually I haven't been looking. Which way did these buffalo tracks go? So Texans said they were on Rebecca's Road. And
Still there.
I'm just thinking that maybe it looks like they've already come this way from Rebecca's Road. They've already gone that way. So maybe we've missed them. Better turn around and go find them. Okay, let's go and find these buffalo. Yago? Linda asking if hyena from the weasel family. Wanting to know if that's true. Actually not, Linda. The weasels are the mustelids, Mustelidae. If anything, the hyena are closer related to the Viverridae, the mongoose family. But then again, remember I'm saying related to, they're not part of. They're as equally related to the Felinae, well, they fall under the Felinae, a subfamily, a subgroup of the Felidae, the cats. So they are kind of closer to cats and mongoose. I don't think the mustelids fall under the same subgroup of felines. We don't get very many mustelids here. I think we only get about 2 species of mustelids in Africa, in southern Africa. The striped polecat and these striped weasel or zorilla. No, it's the polecat that's the zorilla. Yeah, the polecat is the zorilla
And the honey badger.
and the striped weasel. Texan said these buffalo on Rebecca's Road, and it looks like they've moved. Cause I'm guessing they're all over the place, these animals. I might have to go back to Rebecca's Road after all. Came from here, went down that way, and then those other tracks were going east, going west. And these are all old tracks here on Uyatela Access Road. And they might actually be down there. Let's just go up Uya's Access Road for a bit. Going the other way, but this looks like the herd came out from the northwest, or rather, yeah, northeast. I mean, northeast going southwest. So Rebecca's Road it is. We'll go up to Aubrey's Road and come back again, just in case there's something up here that we can look at. Wiener tracks. One of these mornings I'm going to go and sit on a termite mound like the mongoose and not move until I'm warm. This is a very big herd of buffalo because there's still signs of them here coming out of the bush. I think it's the same herd that was around a few days ago with Patrick. Yeah, boy. Shane. Good morning, Shane. I guess you're aware there was a movie back in the 70s. Maybe you get ragged about it sometimes. But anyway, very good movie. David Carradine, if I remember correctly. Shane was asking, the fact that the animals are so accustomed to the vehicles, does it make them more vulnerable to poachers? And yes, it does. It is one of the reasons, Shane, why we have such an insurmountable problem right now with poaching in the Kruger National Park with rhino. Because the white rhino and the Kruger have become quite relaxed around the vehicles, and poachers are able to, they're able to kill a rhino, cut the horn off, and get away so quickly before another vehicle comes along. But we've had over 100 and something rhino, I think, already this year. That the numbers are staggering. The increase in poaching over the last 3 years has, it has increased exponentially, let me put it that way. Here in the Sabi Sand we have a different scenario. We don't allow public to drive around. Only people that drive around are us game drive vehicles and the guides, and I'll get to that in a minute. But the inconsistencies in human behavior mean that yes, it is a huge problem. It is a reality that the more we drive around and photograph animals and get used to them, and or rather they get used to us, the more that happens, the more vulnerable they can become to poaching, because poachers, being as unethical as they are not going to be out there on foot risking their lives if they can drive around in a vehicle and shoot an animal from a vehicle. And as long as these animals are accustomed to vehicles, it makes it very easy for them, and it's the saddest thing of all. In Kruger National Park, such a vast area, we're talking about an area of several million hectares. We're well over 7 million acres worth of, that's including the area in Mozambique and the private reserves here in Kruger. The whole Kruger area with millions of acres has got a relatively small road network, and with a small road network and vast distances to cover, you can get periods of time where you won't see another car for a couple of hours on end, and it only takes 20 minutes, if that, to do what you have to do to a rhino, and nobody will be the wiser. And unfortunately, corruption is rife. Shocking news recently about the Parks Boards. Now, Parks Board for us is like Fish and Game in the States. So Mpumalanga, our provincial parks are like your state Fish and Game. We have provinces, you have states, and some of our provincial park boards are being audited at the moment with millions and millions and millions of rands missing, just snuck away, pocketed by unscrupulous officials, partly because nepotism is rife, partly because well, I won't get into the politics of it, but because of the corruption, there isn't the policing that is needed, and it's just far too easy for poachers to do things. In the old days, Parks Board was on top of things, and there was no ways poachers could get into the Kruger Park. In fact, poaching was almost non-existent in Kruger, other than a little bit of subsistence poaching along the edges where people were putting up snares to catch small animals for food. And to some extent one can accept that. One can accept rural communities, that impoverished rural communities, poaching for food, for the pot to feed a family, you know, taking a warthog or an impala or some guinea fowl. Unfortunately though, snares and that form of poaching affects larger mammals. That kind of poaching, you get rhino, elephant, leopard, lion, hyena, wild dog stepping into snares that are meant for very small animals. They break free, the snares break free, but the snares break free tightened around an animal's limb or nose or neck. Very sad. But it's the poaching for financial gain that is intolerable to me. It's unacceptable. And the levels at which this poaching is going on is unacceptable. And it is becoming more and more of a problem because animals are becoming so accustomed to photographic safaris. You go to areas where there is still hunting, and as much as I abhor hunting, as much as I dislike it, oh, fresh elephant tracks. Animals in hunting areas are very, very wary of humans, and it's very difficult to get close to them. Unfortunately, the hunting areas where some of these endangered species are wiped out already because of the hunting. So nature can't win. Nature is resilient, and you took humans out. If you took humans out of the equation, everything would be fine, because nature would bounce back in a big way. This is a big herd of buffalo, wherever they've been. I think still heading to the east. Buffalo tracks on top of Texans tracks from this morning. Feeling these buffs have gone down that way. Further south. On the move already. No, tracks here heading east. Continue with these eastward heading tracks. Going this way. This way. This. Well, welcome to Safari TV. Be nice to know if any of you are new viewers, or if you've just joined us, do send us an email to finalcontrol@safari.tv. My name is Mark, and I have Tara with me today on camera. We'll probably swap around later. Tara here, me there, or me in Final Control and Herman here. Don't know if any of you have noticed, there's only, see something way in the distance, going up towards Philemon's cut line already. Gee, I interrupt myself all the time, I've got to stop doing this. But yeah, tune in to Safari TV, and you will catch me interrupting myself very often. And we are live, 100% live, here in the Sabi Sand. Sabi Sand Game Reserve, part of Kruger National Park. What did you,
No, I could see what you were seeing.
Oh, you could see what I was seeing. They've moved somewhat much further east. So do let me know if you're new to the Wild Earth channel and Safari TV. Let me know if you visiting from one of the other channels on Wild Earth, from one of the Hornsby cams or one of the Eagle cams or Falcon cams. Let me know how all those birds are doing with all the youngsters. Youngsters should be getting big by now, some of them I think, if not gone. Oh, didn't like the sound of that. Oh, there was button quails, you see it?
Yeah.
We're going to start seeing them again. We haven't seen them much in summer, but now we're going into the dry season. The grasses are getting shorter. The likes of these big herds is the second big herd in a week that we've had come through a very similar area, and we need a lot more, but they are already flattening the grasses somewhat, opening it up a little bit. And the more we get these big herds of buffalo through, the more the grasses get eaten down and flattened and fertilized. Lots of fertilizer, as you can see in the road, lots of fertilizer being deposited. even more so out in the grassland where they're grazing, leaving these little clumps of, well, these little pockets of nutrition that will slowly get returned to the soil by termites, turned back into their trace element. The next rainy season there's more grazing. They're up ahead of us. They might be heading to Treehouse Dam. Looks like the tail end of the herd that we're coming up to now. And I'm going to go all the way up onto Philemon's cut line because I think we'll see them better up there. But yeah, this is the tail end of the herd. We finally caught up with them. African buffalo, erroneously referred to as water buffalo, mostly on account of the fact that very often we find them lying around water. The big old boys that we have at Gari Dam, the young bull in front of us. Hello everybody. It's actually a very nice shot, the female and this bull in front of him.
You only see a bull with, oh there we go, I was going to say he's got about 8 legs.
Oh, you just scratched your armpit raw there, boy. Let's get up onto Philemon's cut line because that's where the bulk of the herd is. Nobody's talking over the mic. No, I think it was, yeah. Hey, Mr. Buffalo Bull. Now, African buffalo do have quite a reputation. There's a young bull in front of us. Excuse me, young man. Testicles haven't even dropped yet. Of course, the reputation comes from the big old bulls, the likes of this one here. He's not even old yet, he's just big. This one on the ground is like the likes of him. You. Do you mind if we sit next to you? You can hear the sound of the diesel pump pumping water, which is the little pump house we often see when we come through Philemon's Dip. It's about the closest we'll get. And in this situation with a big breeding herd, he's relatively safe to be with. When he gets a bit older and he leaves the herd, he becomes a bit cantankerous and a bit irritable with life and everything in it. And that's when he's likely to pose a danger to us. Huge bull this. Hello, Mr. Buff. He could feel threatened. I'm guessing that he's quite okay at the moment. Breathing a little bit heavy. one would never be this close on foot. Well, they wouldn't let you get this close on foot. One would find that the herd would run if they saw a human on foot, probably stampede them. But I am going to move away from him. Let's just get up onto the road. There's some lovely big bulls up there. And thanks for being so patient, Mr. Buff. That was pretty amazing, eh?
That was.
But he was huffing and puffing a little bit, but I just felt it was a little bit, look at this little one having a dance. Okay, let's stop here. Got another giant bull off to the left. He's going to be one of the Duggar boys soon. Wearing some grass between his boss and his ear. And I don't know if that's mud. It doesn't look like mud to me. It probably is mud. Some of it is mud, some of it is scar tissue. He's an old man. Boy, he's huge. Walking around, sniffing cows. Oh, he's an old man. Are you with him?
I was.
Yeah. No. He's sniffing around the cows. He's got a really old arthritic tail. Huh?
Your hat was in the way.
And my hat always gets in the way. And this little fluffy brown calf looks like a baby bison. I can turn facing them more. This is the same herd. This is the same herd. It's not a second herd. And I can tell it's the same herd because I'm seeing... No, it's not. It's a different cow. I'm seeing a cow further up there with pretty bad injuries that look like that might have come from lion. What's up, old mama? Gosh, there's an old granny in front of me looking down her nose at me. Another example. Sorry, I don't know where to look.
Yeah.
But here, this old lady and this old bull in front of us.
Okay.
Look at the difference in the horns of these two. I don't turn now, Granny. She's turned away.
They still got the bull.
Yeah. Okay, never mind. Right, that's...
Can you just relay that one?
Nice camera work, keep it smooth. Okay, I'm going to turn. Yeah, so that it's more to the front. We're also level on the road. Actually, we're still in the back of the herd. I was thinking a minute ago, I thought maybe it's the same herd because I saw a cow with, sadly, with a big injury, and I thought it was the same one we saw who maybe had a TB scar that had opened up when I was with Patrick. But it looks like her injury is a little bit different. Looks like her injury has got something to do with lion trying to bring her down.
Okay, I've got a male and female in shot now. The male on the right just up ahead of us and the female behind him.
Okay. Male and female again, seeing the difference of the size of the horns. Hello, Heather. And the cow is being harassed by oxpeckers. They want to keep the wound open because it attracts flies. Maybe we'll get some maggots.
Where are you seeing?
Right in front of the little apple leaf. Or the little marula. Just sort of Tokolosh fish. Tokolosh is watching. Is this live? Well, Tokolosh, you tell me. How do I know you're watching? Yes, we are live. But I have a question from Heather in Alaska. And this ties in with what we've been trying to show you, the difference in size between the bull's horns, what we call the boss. Now the boss is that big, very big, heavy part in the middle of the horns, in the middle of his head. And Heather is asking, when the bulls fight, do they bang their horns like they bang their heads like that? And yes, very much they do. And that is why nature has given them this very heavy boss, as opposed to the cows who have the horns, and there's a reason for that, but not the boss, because the cows don't fight. And we have a look at this cow standing in front of us.
Oh, I've got the cow.
These two.
You want these? Okay.
Which one?
I've
Or that
got the
old
lying
one?
down.
Huh?
I've got the ones lying down.
Asante sana. Jambo Chokolos. Oh. Naongea Kiswahili. Safi sana. Habari gani leo? Mimi nzuri tu. Lakini baridi sana. Baridi sana. So, all the oxpeckers are having a dust bath in the road.
Okay, I got the cow in shot now. Do you want me to go to the oxpeckers?
And yeah, change, so the oxpeckers having their dust bath in the road. I'm saying there's oxpeckers on that cow that's injured, or keeping that wound open. I can't see her now. I don't know where she's gone. She might be lying down again. The whole herd is moving through the bush. They seem to have paused here to lie down in the sun, get a bit warm, and they're heading up towards Treehouse Dam. Kambenyari now crop. Tokolos kidogo Swahili. Sorry. Kambenyati now crossing Philemon's cut line, heading down towards Treehouse Dam. Oh, I see her again now.
Okay, where are you seeing her now? Well, she got quite a... Oh, I see. Okay, I've just got the oxpeckers dust bathing at the moment. Oh, they've all been covered. Let's see if I can find her.
Got others in front of her now. One finds that the antelope or the gazelles, or let's put it this way, the herbivores that inhabit the open grasslands, one finds that the females have horns to aid in the protection of themselves and their young.
Okay, I got her.
Wow, I'm looking at it, apart from her, I'm seeing another huge cow. She's got a big pair of horns. Yeah, that's an injured cow. I'm guessing possibly the result of a lion attack.
They've got oxpeckers. She's got an oxpecker on her at the moment. Or she did have.
Well, I'm not seeing any claw marks. Wow, oxpeckers are going. Lots of oxpeckers. We need to look at each one of them. Maybe we'll find a yellow-billed.
Oh, that would be good.
Oh well, I don't know. You can't see it. There's a calf. Its mother's lying down and bashing heads with its mother. It's very tender. I'm going to move forward, Tara. Maybe they'll still be doing it. That is quite touching.
There was one just to the right of us, but I just missed it.
Pardon?
There was one to the right of us, but I just missed it. Oh, there.
There, up top there,
Yeah.
that little calf and its mother chewing the cud.
Yeah.
They were having sort of rubbing heads, having tender moments. I'm guessing that probably most of these oxpeckers are red-billed oxpeckers. There is another oxpecker called the yellow-billed oxpecker that's somewhat of an endangered species at the moment, although I think up in Botswana, Afka, you can confirm. I think it was Botswana, the yellow-billed wasn't too endangered up there. Oh, there's a lilac-breasted roller trying to sit on a wisp of a branch. Young bull and the older bull just touching noses and touching horns. He's wearing a sprig behind his horn above his ear.
How far back?
Fashionable for buffalo to wear adornments. We had that one big bull carrying a big blade of grass, big bit of grass. Had another bull, that big bull that was sitting down was wearing a apple leaf as an earring, as an ear adornment. Hey, when you're a buffalo and you can't put on Levi's, you've got to find some way to stand out from the crowd. Put a leaf behind your ear. Individuality. This big bull, sure he's big. Just got up. Shall I scratch or not? That is the question. No, I'm not going to scratch. Woolly neck stork flying over. Just delivered a baby. get up to Treehouse Dam, we might catch them coming down to the water. If they're gonna, oh, they are heading that way. Move, big bull. Curious individual in front of us. Well, not anymore, she isn't.
Yeah, I had her in shot.
She was waiting for her youngster to stand up. She's got an old injury on the back of her leg. Bit of a gash, seems to be healing. Hello, Mrs. B. One youngster flat on its side, fast asleep. And these last few, it's like they're reluctant to get up. And one by one they slowly stand up and join the rest of the herd. The cow's still waiting for her calf to wake up. Not going to move without it. She is going to move without it. As I said it. Move out of the way, little one. I want to see the baby get up. I want to see that baby wake up and suddenly realize mom's not there. Move! Thank you. Stand in the way. Come, boys, girls, move out of the way. It's going to be funny. Little one's going to wake up. Not funny, but it'll be interesting. I saw an ear flick, so and it is breathing slowly. It's just fast asleep, I think. There's mom now standing on the edge of the road.
It looked like the other one was going to give it a nudge.
Yeah, that young bull. Yeah.
Yeah, just really wanted to book a coffee this morning, and the luck is right and we would be coffee, so yeah, I think that was done and dusted. Just call it 2 now as well. We're gonna have to do the work, and then
Okay, old man, you're the second last. What you gonna do? Go wake up the little boy? No. Another big bull coming out of the bush at the back. Okay, let's see. Little one's gonna wake up and he's stretching, big stretch. He's gonna wake up and see everybody. Come quickly, go hide in the bush, Mr. Big Bull. Go. He's the one wearing. Oh boy, have you got a runny tummy or what?
Sorry, I don't want to move the camera onto him because as soon as I do, the baby's gonna.
Yeah,
wake
no,
up.
that's fine. It's just as well you didn't. I think that might have made some people sick. That wasn't very pleasant. Off you go. There, there, wake up. Oh, where's everybody gone? At least there's old bull standing behind, just making sure little one is. Mummy. Ooh. Comes running to the big bull for protection. Look at this. There, mom's just called now because this little one called. There, she was waiting for him. That's so lovely. That was lovely. Hello, Oriole. Oh, right here.
Oh yeah.
As I said, hello, Oriole. It turned around and flew back to this marula tree. Waiting for another Oriole about to arrive. Oh, I just buzzed him. That tail coming back to buzz again. 2 Orioles coming in now. Bit of a competition going on here. He's got his tail fanned out in territorial display and territorial call. There are 2 other Orioles flying around. And he's displaying to them, or he was. They've moved off. Black-headed Oriole. Somewhat related to the Baltimore Orioles. Except they don't play as well. The vehicle behind us just come in. Just missed them all. Fine, and you? They've just left now. They're all gone. They're probably going down to the dam. But they were all sleeping here now. We just waited now. There was one Mampimpan fast asleep and all the herd was gone, and he woke up and they were all gone. Suddenly running to his mother. Hi. Really? Yeah. The strange thing is there was Ingwe colouring last night. Mandla saw him near room 1. But there's no Mkonza coming out of that block at all. Yeah. Okay. Bye. Abel saying tracks of Karula and the boys around Central Road, Nyala Road area. Well, let's go there. Let's go there. Leave Abel with the big herd. take the ride up Vulture's Nest. Let's do Vulture's Nest, somewhere around there. Funny, we were on Central Road this morning and then I went to Boo Boo Road. Nice way to end that moment with all the buffalo, with that little one being left behind. We've seen it with elephant, we saw it with giraffe quite recently up on the open area. That little boy giraffe that was dawdling and suddenly realized that the rest of the group had moved on. I've seen it with baboon and monkeys. I've seen it with humans. Happened to me several times as a kid. But lost quite a few times. Talking with my parents in a big crowd, and I think it's my mom or my dad walking next to me, and just out of the sort of corner of my eye, and I just keep walking with the same person, and it's like 20 minutes later, who are you? Couple of Franklins complaining here for whatever reason. I know those tire tracks.
Yes, it was.
What these Franklins are complaining about. Somewhere in Nyati, they've just crossed Philemon's cut line. Looks like they're heading down towards Trial's Dam, blah blah. Elephant, I smell elephant. There have been elephant here, there are some tracks. Ellie track.
Going to the left.
We'll cross over and go down Welch's Nest, as I was thinking. Well, we'll see. Abel, looks like Abel came from this direction. We want to do a road that Abel didn't do. You did say something about seeing 2 elephants. Or maybe it was at the tracks. Somewhere in Yala Road South. We're on Spaghetti Crossing now. These are the old elephant tracks from the other day with Tara.
Yeah, they've just come back on here.
More oxpeckers around. Little drongo. Getting home and
Yeah.
Abel came from Nyala Road, so we're going to do Vulture's Nest. Oxpeckers following us.
I don't remember having any ticks on me.
On?
I don't remember having any ticks on me. Yeah, it's good. Oh, they've just dipped.
They go as soon as you move the camel. Here's leopard. One of the boys. They're here somewhere. I've got to stop here. I'm going to have to just take a quick walk, folks. Excuse me a sec. There are leopard tracks coming across the road and going in here. I'm just going to go and listen. See if I can get a growl or something. Oh, fresh dung. Very fresh dung here. Let's go.
Just grazing around you. Space for two.
Fresh leopard tracks, very fresh, and there's fresh dung here. Straight through this bush here gets out onto Chelapan. There's another track which may be the other boy heading further north. I'm going to drive a little bit. Here's the 2 minds which way to go. Whether we go through here to Chelapan or we carry on along the road. Let's just go along the road a little bit more, maybe up to the torch. Have a look if there's still tracks up there. Otherwise I'm going to come back and go to Chelapan. Great coming? Sorry, caught the end of that. What's on west on central? Shall we go again? Okay, because I've just got fresh on Conzo here. One crossing Vulture's Nest over to Chelapan, one heading north up towards central. Yeah, I am going to try.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to do a little bit of riding in from the car.
I think I'm going to head back to Chelapan because there's one crossing Vulture's Nest directly east of Chelapan.